8 drivers have been eliminated from the playoffs and 8 remain with a chance to go to Miami and compete for a championship, and ultimately one of those 4 drivers that advance will win the championship, as this is the NASCAR IRWIN Tools Cup Series from Martinsville, the first race in the round of 8, and we're at the PAPERCLIP, the short track, as we're going to see 20 laps around this racetrack, and we have 32 cars that are going to rumble around this half-mile speedway, the shortest track in NASCAR, and this place is very, very differing from Bristol Motor Speedway, as it is completely flat. You won't see the high bank speeds that Bristol has, but Martinsville, it's still very entertaining in its own aspect. We've seen some great finishes, some bumping and banging, and we've seen the best drivers emerge. Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson have won here as of late, and we're going to see what driver, what championship caliber driver is going to step up today and win here at Martinsville, as only the best drivers in the sport win at this track. And now let's take a look at your ones to watch. First, we have Clint Boyer. He's starting on the pole, but he's seated 8th in the round of 8. He's looking to have a great points day, maybe even a win. And then we have Kyle Busch, as he's had a misfortunate legacy here at Martinsville over the years. He's looking to get the win today. And then we have Ryan Blaney as well, as the T. Penske cars have done fairly well at the PAPERCLIP. Ryan Blaney is looking to do that, as he's starting in the 7th position, the only Penske car remaining in the playoffs. And then we have Kevin Harvick. He's the top dog, first in the NITCS round of 8 reset, but he starts mid-pack looking to move up today. And then Chase Elliott, he finally got his first win in New Hampshire. He has the momentum, and he's hoping to get another win today and go back-to-back. As you can see your round of 8 grid, before we start this race, we have Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney looking really good, and then we have Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott that are separated by 5 points, and then the Stewart-Haas gang looking to make something happen. And now it's time to take a look at your Mountain Dew Do the Do starting lineup for the first Data 500. As on the pole is Clint Boyer, and then alongside another playoff driver in Denny Hamlin, both looking to win here at Martinsville. And then we have Kyle Busch, and then how about Matt Kenseth, a solid 4th place qualifying effort for the Win and Rewards team. And then AJ Allmendinger with an impressive top 5 starting position. And then Brad Keselowski alongside, crushingly eliminated from the playoffs last weekend. And then we have Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano, as Joey Logano is going to try to help Ryan Blaney a lot in order to advance to the next round. And then we have Kevin Harvick and Chris Buescher, as JTG Doherty Racing brought their stuff here at Martinsville. 2 impressive efforts for those cars. And then we have Eric Almirola and Kurt Busch, the 2 Stewart-Haas Racing drivers, but they have an obstacle if they want to advance to the next round. Martin Truex Jr. and Michael McDowell, we all know about the heartbreak MTJ had last weekend. And then Chase Elliott, 15th, lowest starting of the playoff drivers, and he's hoping to get towards the front. And meanwhile, we have Austin Dillon and Alex Bowman, 2 solid seasons so far for them, as they're looking for even more today. And then we have Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Ryan Newman alongside each other. And then after that, we have Paul Menard and then Eric Jones, as he has had a great season so far, eliminated in the round of 12, but there's nothing to hang his head about. He's had a great season for his first season with Joe Gibbs Racing. And then we have David Reagan and Ty Dillon, and then Casey Kane. And I'm kind of surprised to see this 2-time winner here at Martinsville, Jimmy Johnson, starting 26th. He's got a lot of ground to make up. And then we have Matt DiBenedetto and then Jamie McMurray, 2 drivers that will be switching rides, or McMurray will ultimately be retiring. Rookie of the Year contenders William Byron and Bubba Wallace alongside, as that battle's coming down to the line, with William Byron holding a slim edge. And rounding it out is Gray Golding and Daniel Suarez, who crashed in practice. So now it's time for your KFC honorary starter. And today's honorary starter is Chase Elliott fan, and he is going to lead these 32 drivers on a 10-lap journey. The round of 8 is beginning. The journey to Homestead to compete for a championship is underway as we are racing around the PAPERCLIP. How about AJ Allmendinger making a move on Kyle Busch for the lead? Ryan Blaney into second, and now Kyle Busch is going to fall down to third, but now he makes the crossover, and he's going to pass Quentin Boyer. And now Boyer's going to fall back to fourth place, now getting challenged by Matt Kenseth. Lap 3 out of 20. The laps are clicking down as Eric Almirola trying to make an evasive move. He's trying to gain some positions as he knows he can't hold back since he is last on the playoff grid. Ryan Blaney continues to lead. We have trouble. William Byron into the wall, and we have Jamie McMurray and Greg Gaulding. It looks like Daniel Suarez is also involved. The caution is out here in Martinsville fairly early in the going as we have 3 cars crashed here on the backstretch, and we're going to have to check the replay to see what happened. How did this occur? And you can see from this outlook, McMurray got into Byron. Let's look at a better look. Oh, it looks like Suarez bumped into Jamie McMurray. Byron went up the racetrack, and then you can tell nowhere to go. Suarez got a little bit more damage, but he looks like he's going to continue. Jamie McMurray, however, will not. A lot of damage. Only 2 more races left for him in his career. And then Greg Gaulding, he went the entire season without a DNF until now, and that's a heartbreaker because BK Racing was doing really well this season. Meanwhile, William Byron is on pit road for repairs. He has a right rear tire rub. They're going to try to fix that. And meanwhile, we have Daniel Suarez also on pit road. Some heavy nose damage. They're getting to work. But meanwhile, those 2 race teams will go 1 lap down very early in the going. And that's crushing for them as they were both hoping to have consistent days as rookie drivers. As now we're going to restart lap 5 out of 20. Ryan Blaney spins the tires, and Kyle Busch, a great restart, a rowdy restart on the outside. Kyle Busch will take the lead. The Candyman out front. Now we have trouble in turn 1. Bubba Wallace spins out. Matt DiBenedetto collected as well, and that's going to bring out the caution once again. Another collision as Bubba Wallace, and he goes in reverse to the pit lane. And we're going to see how this happens. Oh, it looks like Daniel Suarez once again. Yeah, Daniel Suarez gets into the back of Bubba Wallace. He gets into Matt DiBenedetto, and a 2-car collision here brings us under caution. And you can see Bubba Wallace, he went reverse into his pit box, and they're going to make some repairs to that car. And Bubba Wallace, he will go now 1 lap down, which is crushing for him. And meanwhile, Matt DiBenedetto, this was not the early start he was looking for, especially in one of his final races with Go Fast Racing. He had a lot of confidence entering the day, and that seems like it is dashed. Meanwhile, Daniel Suarez on pit road again. Some more nose damage as they're lucky that that hasn't punctured the radiator yet. And they're going to see if they can get him back out. He's going to be 2 laps down. A tough day for Daniel Suarez. And so now we're going to restart lap 7 out of 20. And now we're going to take a look at your M&M's Caramel rundown through the field as M&M's Caramel, the official chocolate of the NASCAR IRWIN Tools Cup Series. Kyle Busch in first. He's had a great day so far, really consistent, and he's hoping to pull away on this restart. Ryan Blaney in second. He spun the tires. That's something you want to avoid. And crew chief Jeremy Bolins has told him that on this upcoming restart, do not spin your tires. Quint Boyer in third, another solid day. Eric Almirola, he's made some bold moves to try to get to the front, but we're going to see he's going to have to be aggressive late in this going. And then we have Denny Hamlin. He's in the top 10 as well. A nice consistent day for Mike Wheeler in that 11 team. And then we have Kevin Harvick, another Sudas driver. He's just barely in the top 10. Kurt Busch, he's built consistently towards the front. He's looking to continue the short run momentum. And then meanwhile, we have Chase Elliott as Alan Gustafson is telling him he needs to be aggressive, try to get some of these early points and try to get back into this playoff hunt. As we are back to racing, Kyle Busch with a great restart. Quint Boyer moves into second. And meanwhile, how about Chase Elliott 3 wide? How did that work? Chris Buescher goes up the racetrack, and we have trouble. William Byron, a cut tire. It looks like he's into the wall. Some heavy damage on his Liberty University Chevrolet, and he stops in turn 1. And Bubba Wallace as well got collided in that incident. And man, Martinsville today has not been friendly to the young rookie drivers, the young blood, as this is William Byron's second incident of the day. And it looks like that one is going to end his short stay here in Martinsville, and it looks like he just cut a right rear tire. If you guys remember to that first caution, William Byron, he was clipped in that right rear by Jamie McMurray, and it looks like his tire finally cut. And that's unfortunate for the driver that resides from Liberty University. And he got schooled today by the paperclip for sure, as William Byron wants to forget his first start here at Martinsville. And meanwhile, Bubba Wallace on pit road yet again. Some more damage they're going to fix. He's going to go 2 laps down. And he was the free pass driver, but unfortunately, he will not earn that reward. And now we're going to restart lap 9 out of 20 as Kyle Busch does what he needs to do. He has a great restart, and he's going to take the lead. But A.J. Allmendinger over the back bumper. What's he going to do on the backstretch? He's going to try to make a pass for the lead. Side by side, Kyle Busch is out of the preferred racing groove, and now he's going to fall back to the 4th position. Now 1 lap to go. Now Ryan Blaney's going to make his move. Blaney to the lead. YRB is in command, but Clint Boyer, he has a run, and now they're side by side. They touch. They're beating and banging. Now Kyle Busch, he gives him the bumper, and now Kyle Busch in command, and coming out of turn 4, now Kenseth. Matt Kenseth is going to win the halfway bonus in stunning fashion. Who could have predicted that? The number 6 for Roush Fenway Racing is in command. And now here on lap 11, Ryan Blaney settles into 2nd, Brad Keselowski in 3rd, and Kyle Busch in 4th. And whoa, we have some contact, a chain reaction, and now Eric Jones has issues. It looks like a radiator has been punctured, and now Matt Kenseth gets bumped out of the way by Ryan Blaney. He takes the lead, but Eric Jones, some heavy nose damage. He's going to have to come to pit road and get that fixed. And now we have trouble in the backstretch. Bubba Wallace spinning, and Daniel Suarez gets collected. Oh my goodness, the hat trick. Daniel Suarez and Bubba Wallace collide once again. And we're going to have to check out the replay. It looks like Bubba Wallace, he overshot turn 3, overdrove it, and he gets into Daniel Suarez. And the both of them collide once again. The 3rd time today for both of them, the 3rd incident. And you can see Daniel Suarez on pit road getting repairs. He will now go 3 laps down. Tough luck for the driver from Monterrey, Mexico, and then Bubba Wallace, as it has not been an easy day for these young drivers, these inexperienced drivers here in Martinsville, because it requires experience, and Bubba Wallace is one of those. And meanwhile, we have Eric Jones on pit road. As you remember, he had some huge damage, and you can see that radiator is punctured. His day is done. They're going to push that DeWalt Toyota Camry behind the wall, so tough luck for him. And so now we're going to restart lap 15 out of 20. And so interestingly enough, for this restart, Ryan Blaney has selected the outside lane, as Brad Keselowski is likely going to let him in. But if Kyle Busch, if you can have another great restart, I guarantee he will make a move. So we are back to racing at the paperclip, and Ryan Blaney will easily clear Brad Keselowski, and he takes the lead entering the backstretch. As you can see, Ryan Blaney and Brad Keselowski as the number 2. He's trying to help Ryan Blaney get to the championship 4 and win a championship. And now Quentin Boyer trying to make some moves. He's going to get by Matt Kenseth. That will move up Boyer to the 4th position. Now Kyle Larson and Martin Truex Jr., they're beating and banging down the backstretch, and he's going to turn him. Martin Truex Jr. gets into Kyle Larson. Now up the racetrack, several cars involved, and the caution is out once again. The big one on the backstretch, as Kyle Larson and Martin Truex Jr. were battling heavily for position, and it ends in disaster. We're going to watch this again. So Kyle Larson gives him the bumper, and MTJ must have not been very happy about that. He turns right across Kyle Larson, and just the right rear just clips him, and MTJ cannot control that car, and ultimately he gets taken out, as well as Austin Dillon and Michael McDowell. So we have MTJ, I believe this is his 8th DNF of this 2018 season. They're going to have to work on that for 2019. And then we have Kyle Larson as well. He's chalked up a lot of DNFs, especially in the playoffs, as we have Austin Dillon as well. A great outing, a top 5 outing last weekend in New Hampshire, and he will not see the same success. And you can see Michael McDowell on pit road. He got some heavy nose damage, but luckily they're going to make some repairs, and he is going to finish this race 1 lap down. So now we're going to restart lap 18 out of 20. 3 laps to go. And we're going to take a look at Kyle Busch as we documented this in the pre-race. Kyle Busch has had a legacy of failure here at Martinsville. He was leading with 1 lap to go, and then Jeff Gordon, who came out of retirement in that 88, he was able to take the win away from Kyle Busch. And you can see here in 2017, right by along with Jimmy Johnson, and he ultimately gets the better restart. Kyle Busch cannot close the deal, and Jimmy Johnson Johnson wins, and Kyle Busch got eliminated. He did not make it to the championship race last year because he didn't win, and the 48 got to victory lane. But Ryan Blaney controls this restart, and he would love to punch in his ticket as we have 3 laps to go here in Martinsville. Brad Keselowski easily lets his teammate in. It's now Kyle Busch. If he wants to get by, he's going to have to go through Keselowski. And look at Joey Logano in 4th. Could he play a role, and could he prevent Kyle Busch from catching them? And meanwhile, Chase Elliott gets a little loose, and you can see AJ Allmendinger there to capitalize. 2 laps to go. Kyle Busch, he has a run on Brad Keselowski side by side. Move Kyle Busch up to 2nd, Logano up to 3rd. And now Kyle Busch is going to have 1 lap. Ryan Blaney has to hold off possibly the most aggressive driver in the garage area. 1 lap to go. Kyle Busch all over the back bumper. He's going to make his move, and Ryan Blaney and Kyle Busch make contact. And now coming out of turn 4, the time is running out on Kyle Busch's misfortunate legacy at Martinsville because he crosses the finish line first, and Kyle Busch wins here at Martinsville, and he will race for a championship in Miami. Wow, what a finish here. So you can see some good old Martinsville racing. Ryan Blaney had to hold off Kyle Busch, but in the end, the driver of the number 18 was able to work by Ryan Blaney, and he captures the win. So for everyone at Joe Gibbs Racing, Toyota, M&M's, and the entire 18 team, Kyle Busch is going to do his burnout as he is going to compete for his 2nd NASCAR IRWIN Tools Cup Series championship in 2 races. So congrats to the number 18 of David Marmer for winning the race and advancing to the championship event. So now we're going to look at your unofficial results. You can see Kyle Busch gets the win. Joey Logano in a 2nd, a quiet day for him. Quint Boyer, a great points day in 3rd. And then we have Brad Keselowski, Ryan Blaney, all 3 Penske cars in the top 5. And then we have AJ Allmendinger in 6th, Chase Elliott a solid 7th, and then we have Denny Hamlin in 8th, Matt Kenseth a solid 9th place finish, and Eric Almirola rounds out the top 10. And so now we're going to look at your 2nd page. You can see Kurt Busch and Kevin Harvick, 11th and 12th. They were the lowest of the playoff drivers. And for Kevin Harvick, he has a little leeway. He can kind of lay back in these situations because of all the points he has, but Kurt Busch cannot. He's going to need to step up at Texas if he wants to go to Homestead. And then you can see Alex Bowman 13th, Ricky Stenhouse 14th, Chris Buescher 15th, Jimmy Johnson 16th, and rounding up the top 20 you can see is David Reagan. 21st is Matt DiBenedetto, a solid rebound from the earlier crash. And you can see Ty Dillon 22nd, Michael McDowell 23rd, he finishes a lap down. Daniel Suarez finishes 24th, 2 laps down. He ultimately got a lap back, but still not enough. He had a hat trick today at Martinsville, 3 crashes, and Bubba Wallace as well, finishing 25th, 3 laps down. And then you can see Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., Austin Dillon involved in crashes. Eric Jones had some radiator issues, which knocked him out of the race. William Byron had a blown tire, and then you can see Jamie McMurray and Greg Gaulding, 2 casualties in the early going. So now we are going to look at your round of 8 points so far in this NASCAR IRWIN Tools Cup Series playoffs, as Kyle Busch is going to Homestead. No need to worry about Texas next weekend. And then we have Kevin Harvick in 2nd. He's 17 to the good. That's consistent. Ryan Blaney also has a good cushion with 15. A lot of points accumulated for YRB, the bright yellow fellow. And then you can see Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott separated by 3 points. Quint Boyer's 8 back. And then we have Kurt Busch and Eric Almirola 17 and 18 points back. They might need to go into Texas looking for a win because right now they might not have enough points to dethrone Denny Hamlin or Chase Elliott unless they crash and they get a lot of halfway bonus points. It's going to be really hard for them to advance to Homestead on points. So obviously next week we are heading to Texas, the Lone Star State, where the championship 4 will be decided. And today here at Martinsville, it was a thrilling battle as we had Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney, and Quint Boyer, arguably the 3 fastest cars, the 3 best here in Martinsville, a mix of some youth and some experience. But in the end, it was Kyle Busch. Finally, he gets a win at Martinsville, and he will be racing for a championship in Miami.